Hey, what's up, VC? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel, and it's time for part 3 of my 7-inch collection. So let's just keep it going. We still got the Dio playing in the background. Showed that one. This next one is one of my favorite bands. Their LP last year was one of my favorites of the year, but this is Bat with Cruel Discipline, and the B-side was Rule of the Beast. Killer new wave. I wouldn't even call them a new wave of traditional metal band. They definitely have a thrash / speed metal sound. Is it Danny Waste that's in the band? I can't remember. But the original drummer from DRI is also in the band. But really, really good. Then of course you've got Savage Master, who I've talked about plenty over the years. The A-side is Black Hooves and the B-side is Swords of Tequila, which is a really great Riot album from the Guy Speranza era of Riot. Night Vision, a little new wave of British heavy metal. It's been a while since I listened to this one. I remember digging it, but not thinking it was great. Breaking the Chains and Your Time Will Come. Next up, Lucifer, Anubis, and Morning Star. Sadly, I never bought this album, but I've heard that these are really the only 2 good tracks on here. I may eventually grab it if I run across it, but I've had no real desire to go and seek it out. So, this is one from Texas Metal Underground. This is Medallion, Texas band with Stormbringer and Swords of Steel. I want to say these guys are mid-'80s, and most of the Texas Metal Underground stuff is kind of in the American, the U.S. power metal. They're all in that Hellstar vein. Next up, we've got Berlin. If I remember correctly, this was also a new wave of British heavy metal. This one was pretty good, if I remember correctly, yeah. Street Fighters, we've heard it all before, and Don't Ever Laugh in My Face. Really good high roller pressing right there. I've kind of fallen off. I was getting all the high roller 7 inches for a while, and it's been at least a year and a half before I got any, or since I've gotten any. This is another band that I was really looking forward to getting their album, and every time I tried to find it, it was sold out, or the shipping from the UK was just too much, or from Europe, I mean. But this is Dagger. Let's see, Mainline Riders, and the B-side is Dark Cloud. Mainline Riders was originally a song by Quartz, who is another new wave of British heavy metal band. Division Speed is a new wave of traditional thrash band. Blazing Heat and I can't even read it. Night on the Rhine. Nacht Hein, which, if I remember my German, is Night on the Rhine. Mirage, Blind Fury. I do remember digging this one. Another new wave of traditional heavy metal band. And this is the song Blind Fury and Twilight Zone. Let's see. This is a Mars Volta. I just thought this was a cool... this is number 31 of 300. They did a couple different series of these where they screen printed them themselves. And I just thought that was cool, and that's why I bought it. And the name of this song, A Plague Upon Your Hissing Corpse, which is a song that was written for Deloused and was just never used. But it's this really cool screen printed jacket, and then this clear blue vinyl with I think it's only on one side. Yeah, it's got a blank side, so it's just that one song, but it's a very DIY punk kind of approach, and you can actually see on the edges where the ink, I don't know if you can really see it, where the ink bled through when they were doing the screen printing. It's really cool though. And I really love when bands do this type of stuff. I've never been into the Mars Volta. I thought the song was okay. But I really liked that. Zool. I think this is this is Zool. Howl of the Wolf. And Kill Splitter? Skull Splitter. Zool, new wave of traditional metal band. And this is another split with Zool. Through a Glass Darkly. And Harbinger, Iron Rules. And that's on yellow vinyl. This was a cool band, but I haven't seen anything else from them. White Hornet, another new wave of traditional metal band. Some really cool artwork there. Condemned to Hell, White Hornet, Going Straight to Hell, and Satan's Arrow Strikes. So this was their EP. I don't know if they've released any albums or not. I feel like I've seen an album from them and just didn't grab it. Introducing Scepter. If I remember correctly, this band broke up shortly after putting together this EP, but this is Shadows in the Maze and Powerhouse. Trial, killer band, Where Man Becomes All, and the B-side is Introspective, and it's on this kind of brown and gold marbled vinyl. Really dig Trial. They kind of get stuck as being oh my God, what's his name? King Diamond or Merciful Fate ripoff, but I think they're a lot better than that. And while they do incorporate a little bit of that sound, I think they've definitely got a sound all their own. Next up, another new wave traditional metal band. This is Stallion. I haven't liked their full albums as much. I do have one of their albums that's decent. It's a mini LP. Their newest album that just came out, I thought it was okay. Maybe I need to give it another spin, but this is 24/7 and Flame of the Show, which is a cover of that song by the original band Warrant. Another of the Texas Metal Underground albums. This is Barren Steel. And then we've got the Sentinel demos. Again, all these Texas Metal Underground bands are pretty much all U.S. power metal. Hooks in You and a Hooks in You mix from Marillion. I believe that one was given to me by Scott Waters. Next, I believe this one was a Record Store Day pressing. This was done by Third Man, I believe. But this is I Walk the Line and Get Rhythm with Johnny Cash. And I love this sleeve with the original Sun label. Next, we've got My White Bicycle and Too Bad, Too Sad from Nazareth. Bon Jovi, Love is War, and Living in Sin. Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses. And the B-side is It's So Easy Live. Kylesa, great band. I need to get more of their stuff. I've only got one of their albums. No Ending and 100% Heat Index, but look how cool that jacket is. Duran Duran, View to Kill from James Bond. Let's see. Yeah, both A View to Kill. ZZ Top, Legs. And the B-side is Bad Girl. This one was one or two record store days ago. A Monster at the End by Anthrax. I believe this one, and the B-side is Vice of the People. This was on like purple and gold vinyl, I think. Yeah. It's kind of hard to see, but really cool vinyl there, and it's a great little 7-inch. And I love this album. I actually need to... I pulled this out to give it another spin, the actual LP, and just haven't gotten to it yet. Some more Aerosmith, Ragdoll, What was the B-side on this? Was it Ragdoll on both sides? I don't think it was. Ragdoll and St. John. Helix. Deep Cuts the Knife on both sides. That one was VCLT. Mr. Big, Just Take My Heart, and Road to Ruin. Yes, Lift Me Up, and Give and Take. Genesis, Can't Dance, and On the Shoreline. Warrant, 32 Pennies, Sometimes She Cries. I don't remember either of those songs. The Rolling Stones, Brown Sugar and Wild Horses, both amazing songs. Julio Iglesias and Willie Nelson, to all the girls I've loved before. My mom loves that. She asked me to play that when she comes over. This is Damn Yankees, Pile Driver and High Enough. White Snake, Here I Go Again. Is that on both sides? And Children of the Night. Nazareth, Shanghai and Shanghai, and Cat's Eye Apple Pie. Another Nazareth. This one is Hair of the Dog and Sunshine. And those were VCLT from Ben. Unfortunately, they cracked. Whoever shipped them, the package folded in half, and they didn't crack all the way through, so most of them I can play one side but not the other. Still Loving You and As Soon as the Good Times Roll, the Scorpions from Love Bites is the name of that one, I think. Deep Purple, Never Before, and When a Blind Man Cries. That's a cool, I love the cover on that one. Black Death, I showed this recently. Retribution, and here comes the Wrecking Crew. This is from the bootleg copy of their LP that I just got. That is being officially released once again in the next. It may already be out, but and then this one, I can't think of the name of the band. Name of the album is Fiction. It's one of the Gothenburg bands. I'm drawing a blank. Put it in the notes. That was VCLT from Eric Dust. I'm sorry, Eric. Sounder, Brazilian Thrash, great band. Madness and To Hell and Back, really good Brazilian thrash. Marillion, Lavender, and the B-side is Freaks, VCLT from Scott Waters. Paranoid, and the B-side is Never Say Die from Ozzy. This is Queen, We Are the Champions, and the B-side is We Will Rock You. Love that 7-inch cover. Against Me, True Trans, and the B-side is Soul Rebel. Is that it, right? Oh no, B-side is Fuck My Life 666, which is a killer track from Against Me, an amazing punk band. The Fugees, The Score. This is Fuji La and Mista Mista. And that's on this cool yellow vinyl. Actually, I'll keep them with the so this is kind of cool. So this is a Record Store Day, the 20-year anniversary of the original of the song Runnin' from The Pharcyde. The Pharcyde is one of my all-time favorite hip-hop acts. Their first album, I think, is one of the top 3 best hip-hop albums of all time. Amazing album. This is off of their second album, I think. But this is Runnin', and the B-side is Emerald Butterfly. Both are great songs. But again, this is the 20th anniversary Record Store Day release of this on this blue and clear vinyl. And then I've also got an original pressing, and the originals were it was a real limited pressing in 95, and I have had this since 97 or 98. So this is the original. And again, these are super rare. It was a real limited pressing. I have a real good friend, Rob, who is a hip hop artist. He's in Cali right now. He also does a podcast in Cali called Cali Dro. But he went to Cali. We were stationed in Japan. I was still in the Navy, obviously, at the time. I was very early into my career. I had only been in for about a year. And he knew that I was also a big fan of this. He was a DJ, so we did have turntables in our room. But he got a copy for me as well. And he bought this from the Delicious Vinyl studio. He went to the store at their studio. So this is the original of Runnin' and Emerald Butterfly. And these things go for, $25, $30 for the originals. Next up, this was a recent purchase. This most recent record store day. This was only released through Bandcamp. They had a couple different versions, but this is the very first release from White Zombie, and this is Gods on Voodoo Moon. And it's got Gentleman Junkie, King of Souls, Tales from the Scarecrow Man, and Cat's Eye Resurrection. I also have this in the box set, which I'll show eventually. So this is not the White Zombie that you know, or that you knew for their two main albums. White Zombie started out as kind of an experimental noise band, but still really cool. And this is exactly what the original looked like. So you got the label on the B side, the label on the A side. Really cool. All the artwork done by Rob Zombie, of course. But and then you've got the insert here. Again, you got Rob's artwork with the lyrics. And of course, you've got Rob right here and Sean right here, which were the only two consistent members of the band throughout the life of White Zombie. Very cool though, and this is kind of a must-have for any White Zombie fan. Next up, we've got Anthrax, Make Me Laugh, and side one, Make Me Laugh. Can't remember what side two was. Side two with Antisocial Live. Next up, Metallica. This is their 30-year anniversary disc. This is So What Live and Through the Never Live. Let's see, we're down to the last couple, so we'll go ahead and finish this out. Paul Revere and the Raiders. I don't even know where this came from. I Had a Dream and Upon the Leaving. And then these last couple are the most recent buys that I've had. Actually, I've shown this before. I grabbed this for like 50 cents too, and this one goes for $40-50. It's not in the. It looks scratched to hell, but it plays really nice. I actually used the glue, wood glue method and cleaned it, and it doesn't pop or skip. It's a little bit noisy, but this is a promo pressing from like 1953, and it's the theme from The Man Who Understood Women is the A side, and the B side is What's Gunk on Here, which is actually, if you heard the song, you would probably know it, especially if you're my age. But these are the most recent purchases. We've got Dr. Feelgood from Motley Crue. I haven't even cleaned these yet, with Sticky Sweet as the B side. Dwight Yoakam, Santa Claus is Back in Town, and the B side is Christmas Eve with the Babylonian Cowboys / Jingle Bells, and that one is Dwight Yoakam with Al Perkins. Then we've got Gene Simmons off of his Kiss solo, and you've got Radioactive and See You in Your Dreams. And then last but not least, this was a very cool find. Again, and this one I probably won't even open. This is a 1972 or 1973 greatest hits or best of from the Doors. and it's an EP with "Love Me Madly," "Riders on the Storm," "Touch Me," and "Light My Fire." "Riders on the Storm" is my favorite Doors song, but this is still sealed, and I picked this up for $8, and they go for in good condition 25 to 30. So I'll probably never open that. But again, I haven't even cleaned those yet. But that is pretty much my 7-inch collection. Oh, I forgot to show this. I knew I would forget it. Finally, we've got the Beatles box. And I think John has shown this before. Inside, you've got this picture here. It's got this really cool apple-colored 45 adapter, and it's one of the little pop-in adapters. So you've got Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby, and these are on the Capitol labels. Ticket to Ride and Yes It Is. Something and Come Together on the Apple label. Hey Jude and Revolution, again the Apple label, and then it comes with this poster of the Beatles that I'm not going to open up. So that was a cool little pickup too, and the box was damaged. This was a Record Store Day release. That was actually they were way overpriced, but I picked it up for $15 because I don't know if you can see it, but the box right there was slightly damaged. So I found it in a clearance bin, and I couldn't pass up on that. But, so now you have, I believe that's all of my 45s. I don't think I have any others floating around. So there you go, Scott. That's it, guys. Take care, and I will see you soon.